Hi, welcome, and today we're going to be doing this hare. At least I think it's a hare and not a rabbit. But anyway, this is an unsplash picture, so I will put the link to it below. And I've already sketched my hare out. I'm only going to go so far. In fact, I probably might not even go that far. In fact, I probably won't. Let me grab a eraser and let me check where my sound is. There we go. Just make sure we're a bit better. Right, I think I'm actually going to rub that bit out, and I'm just going to fade it out at the bottom, because that's kind of what I've decided I would like to do today. First of all, though, I have got some 300 GSM paper here. This is an A5 size. I'm using my Michael Harding paints. I've got 3 Princeton Snap brushes here, a size 12, a 6 and a 2. I've got my cloth. Off to the side where you can't see it, I do have some water. And I might actually get some pencils out. And to do the fur, I'm thinking I might like to use my embossing tool. So I'm going to leave that out for a minute. Right, let's get started without further ado today. And I'm going to wet my background so that I get this nice fuzzy background that's going on. There's some quite pretty little colours in it. Careful around my ears. There we go. This is the thing with our backgrounds. We do sometimes have to draw around things, and I'm just going to leave the bottom bit for the minute and see what I'm going to do there. I'm a little unsure what I'm going to do with the bottom bit, but we'll see. So I think let's use, for a change, let's use New Gamboge for my yellow, because there are some yellow patches in our background. So we'll dot a few bits of yellow in there. And there is even some pink. So is it pink or is it more coral? Maybe let's go with quinacridone coral. As usual, you are seeing me try something. I might not get it exactly right, but we will see. And then I'll use some of my bright green yellow lake, whatever it's called, bright green lake. And then I want a darker green going on in there as well, so we'll get some Perylene green and pop some of that in there so that we've got some colour against the browns and greys of the rabbit. Now I'm just going to use a damp brush so that I fill in the gaps around my rabbit hair. Gosh, looks like it's got quite long ears. I think it's probably a hare, isn't it? Okay, so we've got some of that going on, a bit darker in there, I think. So we'll keep that corner quite dark. Now then, it looks like there's almost some kind of lines going on in this background, so I'm going to score in with my embossing tool, but you can use whatever is going to make a bit of a mark, so that we've got some kind of texture going on in the back there. I will bring that up a bit closer so that you can see, although it is still wet at the minute anyway. Right, so now I think I'm going to dry that so that I can then make a start on my rabbit. So let's get my heat gun out and I will be back in a second. Okay, so I'm now going to go down to a smaller brush. I think I'm going to use the size 6. And where should we start? Maybe we'll start with the ear. And I want to get I know this plate is dirty, but it's fine. You see, this is what we really do. We're not all neat and tidy. I want to get some quite grey bits into the top of that ear there, and also down here. And then I want to start mixing my brown and my grey as we come down a bit further, so it's not quite the same colour. And you know, I can refine all of this. I just want to get my colours in, really. So we've got this bit is quite dark coming down here. I want a bit more of the brown in there for under here. And keeping this a bit grayer over this side. And there's definitely quite a dark bit where the hind leg is. And I'm going to be using some nice pencils and maybe some bleed proof white to get some of this fur in. But what I really want is a nice kind of mixture of colours going on. Just make sure we get that in. Right, let's... Now the face has got some definite brown bits underneath the eye and just above the nose, and maybe around here a bit, before we go back to our mixture of and we can get the white bits in later. Try and preserve some of that eye shape. And we need a bit more of that brown around here coming down. So we're gradually building it up just by mixing. Well, I've said grey and brown, haven't I? What I'm actually using is neutral tint and Earth of Cyprus, which is a bit like a burnt umber more than a burnt sienna. So okay. Now, I want to let that dry. I want to try and get some brush strokes in. I wonder if we can get some of these darker kind of brush strokes in, or might be a bit wet still. So I've gone down to my size 2 now, and I'm just using the neutral tint basically. And I'm hoping that because it's still wet, I'll get a little bit of some texture going on, although it is starting to dry, to be fair. And it's not looking brilliant. It's looking at the ugly stage right now, I think. All paintings quite often have this kind of ugly stage. I'm going to go with a bit of a darker brown, sepia, to get some of the fur around here. It kind of comes down this front bit here. so that we're getting an idea of fur, I suppose. As you can see, I keep swapping about as to, you know, what colours I'm using. And I'm trying to do this with a bit more of a dry brush around the face here. Time for some bleed proof white, I think. I don't want too much on my brush though. Right, we need a bit of white around this nose here. And we definitely need white around these eyes. And we'll get some of that in. And we've got quite a white patch under here. It goes all the way around. And I've got a little bit of white going on around the edge of the ears here. And even in here a little bit. So we've got some of this white going on. I'm trying to have a fairly dry brush. Yeah, says that it's more of a dry brush effect than okay. Well, I think he's building up. Right. Before I go any further, I think I'm just going to dry that. And then I want to get some pencils out. No, first I want to do his eyes. I want to do his eye. So we've got this quite dark bit that comes around there into a bit of a point. And we've got the the black bit in the middle there. Oh yeah, he looks cute. Let's get a bit of a nose in here then next. And then we need this bit coming down. And I think we'll kind of go round here a bit so we get that kind of there. I think that looks quite good. Right, I want to go around these ears a bit, and I want to get some of the, we've got quite a black bit at the top there, and almost like a black line coming down here. I want to get some of that in. And then this is quite dark here, but I think I'll use a pencil for that. Yeah, let's get some pencils out, so then I can finish the eye off. So I need a kind of a muted orangey colour for the eye. And what have I used? This is called Autumn Leaf. Okay. So we've got that little eye going on there now. And I need a dark brown over my browns. It's this one looks like it's going to be quite dark. What are you? Castle Earth. You're not very sharp though. We will be sharpening you. There. One sharper pencil so that we can get a bit more definition going on around these ears, and even shading in a bit around there, which I think looks better. And then we also need it shaded around here, and then I just want to tidy up the edge of that. So I'm doing a lot of tidying up with my pencil here really, and that's quite dark in there. Coming down, and then we've got that white bit, but we'll get some little brown bits in between so that we rake it up a bit. I think he's starting to look a little bit better. Okay, now we've got quite a brown bit in here, so we'll get you back in there a bit more. And we've got some going on in here. And then I think we need this going across here, don't we? We need some texture going on down here. Otherwise it's just looking too plain. And that bit could do with being a bit darker. Squint, squint, and try and get some darker bits in. Okay, now I'm going to get a grey. So let's go with, what's this? This is Payne's Grey 50%. We'll see how that goes. I might need to go a bit darker, she says with a croaky voice. So I'm going to add in some grey now, so that we can get some texture, more texture, texture, layers and layers. Obviously, we want that bit to be a bit darker. I think it's just, yeah. And this is the darkest of all, really, at the front here. Get some of that fur going on there. I think it's beginning to look a little bit more like fur, but I'm not sure that I've got, this shape isn't right here. It should come round more. So I think we'll try and make that go round a bit more like that. And we've got almost like a dark V bit there. So we'll see if we can get some of that in there. Let's go. Let's just try and tidy up this eye a bit. Blend that in a bit more. Okay, that's not looking too bad. Now I'm going to get the what should we get? Here you are. Derwent Drawing Chinese White. So I just want to make these white bits a bit more blended. Blended? Yes, that's the word, isn't it? Where I use that bleed proof white. So I'm kind of using it almost like a blending pencil, so that it all blends in a bit more. As most of you know, trees and landscapes, florals maybe slightly, are what I'm more used to doing. I'm really not that used to doing animals, so I'm pushing myself here to do something a little bit different. I don't think he's too bad, actually. So, yeah, let's just take, let's just take this off. Do I want to put some grass? Because I'm only going to do dried things now. And I'm going to move my paints out of the way. And that way I can move him over a little bit. I'll bring him up a bit closer. He's on my desk, he's a bit darker than he's showing on the screen here, but he's not too bad considering. But I think I'm going to get some grasses coming up here. So I need some greens. Where are my greens? There you are. Right. Let's pick a couple of greens. These are luminance, dark sap green, and actually this is olive brown, but that's fine. So that he's not kind of just plonked at the bottom there, so that we get some grasses going on. which I think kind of help it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Well, considering animals aren't really my forte, I think I've got a little bit of texture going on there. I quite like his eye, and he or she, whatever it may be. And I'm quite happy with that, I think. I don't think that's too bad. So I'll leave a link to the picture down below, and yeah, see if you want to have a little play and a little go. I'm sure some of you are really good at animals, but yeah, have some fun as I have done today. Okay, well, stay safe, stay healthy, stay calm, and I really hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.